Howdy y'all. Welcome back to Muddy Creek Iron and part 2 of the John Deere A project. I think where I left off, I had saw some water dripping out of the oil filter area when I was turning it over, so I just called it quits there and drained the crankcase. And these things hold about 8 quarts of engine oil, and by the time I got all the water and everything out of the crankcase, I had pretty full 5-gallon bucket, so I kind of got that taken care of. Got a new filter and everything put in it. I was getting it to turn over a little bit better. I did get a new coil and cap. I started getting spark, but something just wasn't right. Then I realized I started doing some more checking. I didn't have any compression on number 2 cylinder, this right-hand cylinder, so I pulled the valve cover off, and it had a stuck valve. It was stuck open, so sprayed it down, a little tapping here and there, and it got loosened up and started working halfway decent, but wasn't just like I wanted to see it. But so I kind of just decided, as much stuff was on the spark plug on number 2 cylinder here, I just decided to go ahead and pull the head, which I did. And because I had been playing around and got the lid off the crankcase down here, and it didn't look too shabby in there, but I got to noticing one of the rods had side clearance like you should, and the other one was tight. I had to tap it back and forth with a hammer because it always had a tight spot. So I know this thing has been apart once before, and I don't think they got enough shims in that one rod. So all these little things that was concerning me, I just decided I'm gonna pull it apart and see what I find. So, like I said, I got the head off of there. I left the intake manifold sit apparatus on it, which might have been a bad idea, but I got it off of there onto a forklift forks and had to pull some studs out to get it turned sideways and down out of there. It's up at my home shop. So I decided to pull the pistons out too, just to see, especially on number 2 cylinder, to see what kind of shape it was in with, had all the water and everything in it. And I mean, they're not terrible. It's hard to see back in there really, but I got the pistons out, and they really don't look all that bad. I mean, they're really, all the rings are there. They're not froze up. It may have been all right, but like I said, I just didn't want to take a chance. And this one, number 2, I'm going to check the wrist pin bushing. I could hear a little slopping when I was turning it back and forth. So while it's out, might as well get that taken care of. And when I was cranking it over, even with the battery, I was having trouble getting oil pressure. Now that may have been the gauge too, but I could see something didn't look correct in there, and I found this line laying down in there. It was broke off, and that goes up into your governor housing to oil the governor. And now that I got the pistons and rods out of there, you can see down in there a lot better. The oil pump, it did look pretty sludgy down in there, and the oil pump looked pretty sad shape. So I pulled it out, and you can see it needs a good cleaning up and going through. But I mean, kind of tricky getting some of these lines. This one here is the one that goes up to your governor housing. It was broke and pulled out, but this one here and this one goes to your oil filter housing. Kind of getting squirreled down in around there with the crank in there to get them unloosened, but we got her out. So I think at this point I'm going to take all that stuff back to my home shop and get it cleaned up, checked out. I think I have a dingleberry hone that's a real fine one that will work in there. I can give that a little scuff job. But for now, that's where we're at with part 2. I got, like I told you before, here's the parts tractor that I got with this, and it's it's all there, but it's pretty rough. I did pull the crankcase cover off of it, and that line is in there, but it won't turn over, and I don't know how I'm gonna. It was actually an aluminum line. I have some copper tubing that I may just try to make another line for it instead of trying to get that one out. But anyhow, that's where we're at. Little wee bit of progress. And this board I had stuck in here when you're working by yourself, I had it in there as a blocker. I didn't want to take a chance on pushing the pistons out and then all at once, poof, they come out and slam the metal ground down on the cement floor. So that was kind of my stopper, then I could pull them out. So we got that done without having any incidences. So that's probably going to be it for about this weekend. A little bit at a time when we get here and there. So that's going to call our day. Keep watching. We'll have some more progress here hopefully in the next week or so. The way it goes there, you probably maybe longer than that, but keep checking her out. We'll catch y'all later.